This March Madness betting strategies and first four picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by our free bracket challenge. $2,000 winner take all. Enter today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to FGPN. Let it ride.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner on picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
What do we have here?
Oh, look at him.
What everything starts feeling it. I'm leaning back in these chairs. I feel this is the way it's supposed to be, right?
Welcome back, Colby.
Yes, joining us live in studio from the college experience, Colby Dant, aka Pick Dundee. Colby, what's happening?
It feels great. I got right out the airport. Breathed some just some nice smog hit me right in the face.
Yeah, Colby's like California air is great, man.
California air.
I think that maybe it might have been the jet fuel. I know that smell because you walk right out on the tarmac on the Burbank airport, at least normally.
I will say there is a when you land at LAX, you can smell the ocean.
Yeah,
and it is very nice. Burbank, I don't know if you get that same.
Yeah, no, I got it all, man. And we parked the car. I saw a homeless guy shitting in the bushes. I gave him a receipt from a bagel I bought. I was like, dude, use this to wipe your ass. I'm back, baby. Let's go. How we doing?
Now, Kramer, I know it's great to have Colby in studio. Don't have to deal with any potential internet issues, storms, a brewing. But I think you might be right because Colby, do a quick sound check.
Just sipping that beautiful.
Because I'm still hearing the list, even with Colby in studio.
565.
All right, great to have Colby back.
I'm telling you.
What are you telling me?
I think it's still. I think it is there. It's just something about what happens to his voice in compressed form. Our human ears can't hear it without the help of the compression layer on the internet.
So we got so much to get to. The madness is here. First off, we got to start with the madness of these clowns, these jabrones that put together this so-called tournament. Everyone's obviously upset the UNC got in, and then also Colby, walk people through the behind the scenes that the UNC athletic director who gets a $100,000 bonus.
Bubba Cunningham, of course, his name is Bubba Cunningham.
Bubba, he's on the up and up. So the UNC athletic director
is he's the chairman. He's the.
Who, by the way, by all accounts, was the force inside of Chapel Hill that didn't want Bill Belichick.
I believe you're right.
Yeah. So because he knew it would be.
We are a basketball school here, and I love my nanner pudding that I get every day.
So just framing the kind of guy this is. And his name actually is Bubba. It's not a nickname.
Hey,
right?
don't look. Coach Leach's son's named Bubba. We're not coming for him. We're not coming for Bubba's. All right. Also, Bubba Paris, the famous offensive lineman for the Niners.
So UNC gets in kind of on some bullshit. Indiana.
No. Kind of on some bullshit.
One quad, one win.
This is the worst one of all time. And I predicted this back in October. Because I knew Sankey's pushing his agenda.
Yeah,
I didn't think they would take it this far, but I thought this year would be ridiculous because I thought that they were going to do something to make sure we expand in the coming years. But this one is ridiculous. No one had West Virginia on the bubble. Not like West Virginia. And then the problem is with the committee. I don't think they watch basketball every day.
No,
and that's that's the problem because they're sitting there.
Are you new to committees? They don't actually know shit about the thing they're a committee on. I mean, the government, college sports, safety in the NFL, none of it.
It's insulting to hear them talk about, like when Bubba Cunningham's there. It's like, well, West Virginia's Tucker DeVries was out. he was injured, so we couldn't evaluate them.
I
That's
guess
a wild
I
excuse.
mean, first off, that's
a wild.
That's
excuse.
crazy.
He missed the whole year.
Yeah, if he missed the whole year,
Played 8 games, 8 fucking games.
That's honestly when you tune in to like whatever your other gambling show you probably don't listen to, and you hear them cite a trend that was typoed on a site that always typos trends, and you have a good chuckle because you're like, oh, not only do you have no idea what you're talking about, but you'll just read anything.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, like this is the sad part about this is West Virginia's team deserves to be in this thing. They had a depleted roster. Their top scorer goes out, right? And they rally up. I was ready to say like, oh, W is going to be one of the worst teams in the Big 12, but no. They battled through that adversity. They beat a bunch of good teams. Iowa State, when Iowa State was completely healthy. In
fairness, the tournament did not help them.
They won at no, but I don't think they.
I agree.
But hold on, but which is it? This is like the college football show.
I agree.
So wait, Purdue, not Purdue. I'm sorry, Wisconsin and Michigan. The outcome meant nothing based on their rankings. The Big Ten championship.
It's very confusing.
So, and they've done this before. And Boise State, San Diego State meant nothing.
It's very confusing.
But wait, we're gonna say West Virginia losing to Colorado meant something when we're gonna ignore the other conferences.
It's obviously a convenience thing. Now, the beauty of this versus football is we're not talking about teams that can actually win the national championship. So, here's my take on this. Just flat out say, hey, we're going to reserve 2 of these spots. They're like, what do they call them in golf, Sean? Sponsor exemptions?
Yeah, tour exemptions. UNC.
Just have the committee figure out 66 teams.
Yeah, if you're a Nike school, Nike gets 3 teams. I think that's reasonable. Why not?
I mean, the North Carolina resume is the worst.
But Colby, you would at least accept it if there was a ridiculous.
Well, maybe it was part of Bob Huggins' plea deal, like under the table. Hey, we're gonna have to serve a couple season suspension. Can't have you back in the tourney.
We were looking at the numbers on Bracket Matrix, where they track 167 publications that put out brackets. 167 of those 167. Here are the play-in teams. 159 on San Diego State, so not too controversial there. North Carolina only 39 of 167. That's less than a quarter. 62 on Xavier and 71 on Texas. All 3 of them had less than 50% of the bracketologists out there. West Virginia 164 out of 167. I saw that they were in all 114 of Bracket Project, which is the first time that's happened. And even Indiana was in 142 of 167.
Indiana not getting in was interesting.
I actually think Boise. Why is Xavier in too? Like, I mean, Xavier deserves it more than Carolina, but they really botched this. Boise State has a legit. If you look at Boise's non-con too, Boise's got some great wins like Clemson, like St. Mary's. St. Mary's. I mean, like San Diego State, Utah State.
Texas and UNC are insulted that they have to go to Dayton. Their fan base isn't even going to give you a bump.
I actually think belongs in. Texas, I actually think belongs in.
They showed up. They kind of won their way in there with a nice little 2-game stretch in the SEC tourney. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel bad for I don't actually feel bad for West Virginia fans. These people are savages. They're fun.
Good luck to Bubba Cunningham. Good luck with your opening up your email account tomorrow.
But why do we have? Can't we have a little bit more neutrality around how we pick the teams?
Well, and also,
this was rigged. This was just rigged.
Also too. They
didn't do anything good, and they did a lot of bad compared to teams around them that did good and did less bad.
10 minutes before the show, the selection show started, Indiana was minus 3,000.
Wow.
To get into the tournament on FanDuel, which is crazy.
Well, you saw the UNC price at probably same time range. It was like plus 500.
Yeah.
I mean, Indiana should be in over Carolina and Xavier, in my opinion, too. I mean, They just botched this. I mean, I understand that I'm making the case for 3 teams, and you're only talking 2 spots.
Yeah, that's classic Colby.
But no,
They
I mean, the West Virginia one, they weren't even on the fucking bubble. Like no one considered them a bubble team.
No, it was.
So
when I saw UNC got in, the teams I was thinking that wouldn't get in, West Virginia didn't even cross my mind.
They had a lower aggregate seed across the 164 publications they were in than VCU, Drake, the other 11 seeds, plus 10 seeds, 10 seed Vanderbilt.
Also, it's just insane that you have active ADs, people that clearly would benefit from their team.
$110,000, right?
Yeah. How can you claim to be unbiased? Oh, we step out of the room. But what if we stepped out of the room and I went into the other room and you guys know if you vote the Eagles into the playoffs, then I get $110,000 bonus. Like, how would you not want to help out someone that you
go to lunch with every day, right?
Yeah. Luckily, the NFL hasn't figured out they actually value. They don't let these fugazi committees decide who gets into the playoffs. They have an old school system called the games on the fucking field. Yeah. But
you do sometimes get like the 7 and 9 team hosting a playoff game.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which is
it's not perfect, but it's better. It's better. Yeah.
But which is fine because they won their division.
You have 2 outliers in 20 plus years. It's fine. I think, I think the problem is that we're learning right through politics and in college sports somehow that old rich guys are really dumb and they're trying to continue to do things the same way, even though there's internet and things like that where you have to answer for shit, and they have no way to answer for this stuff other than we need just some sponsor exemptions. Don't make. You can still make us mad, but don't do it in this way.
Even the North Carolina fans that I know, and this is how you know how bad this one is. Like several North Carolina fans I know have DM'd me saying, "This is bullshit. We don't belong in over West Virginia. We don't belong in over Boise."
And I saw Terrell having the immediate reaction that I have. Oh wait, a team got in that doesn't deserve to be in. Do we put them in the Sweet 16? How far does this UNC team go on a run? Because that's how gambling.
But here's the hard part to sell you on is they have no fucking good wins. I was listening I saw Dick Vitale tweeting out like, it's all about eye test. Carolina deserves to be in. What? Are you fucking, you watching 83 again, Dick? I mean, look at the schedule. I like, this is a team that barely beat Georgia Tech, won by 3 against Georgia Tech, needed a 4-point play to beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame deserved to win that game.
Notre Dame, not a good team.
NC State, they barely get past. That's a rivalry game. I'll give it a pass, right? They barely got past NC State in Raleigh, right? The Boston College game. Boston College, they needed overtime at home to beat Boston College, and Boston College had a 6-point lead with a minute left. What fucking eye test are they talking about when they say this? They have no good road wins. Their best road win is what? Florida State? What? I mean, that's not a good team. Their only good win of the whole season is UCLA at the Garden by 2. The neutral site, UCLA at the Garden, a couple days before Christmas.
But they did cover against Duke without Cooper Flag, and they
but they were also down 26 points in that game. Where's your fucking eye test there, right?
It's so funny the way their conference tournament season ended with the lane violation, where everyone kind of almost feels bad for them, of like, oh man, you hate to see that he hit the free throw. Would love to see how that I mean, UNC, where people were kind of almost sympathetic to UNC, like, oh man, and now just the tide immediately turned.
Well, I mean, first we had no idea that they were going to box out West Virginia, team we thought was soundly in, and then
and that's probably part of why people are so pissed. Is you lose a team like UNC. It would be different if they knocked out another bubble team.
But this is what I'm talking about. They're so dumb. They're using the same. They're like, how do we get a team out that's probably supposed to be in? What was that trick we did in football? Oh yeah, say their player's injured. The team's different.
And they expanded.
Do we have any teams that are near the bubble that have a guy who's injured? West Virginia's best players out.
But that's the most insulting part is they go on TV and be like, well, since that injury, we thought they weren't did you watch the season? He's been out for a long fucking time.
I do. I mean, I kind of feel like this is This is I mean, as Virginia Tech was on the bubble for like 3 out of 4 years under Seth Greenberg, that piece of shit. I mean, think about all the NIL money the Hokie basketball team would have if Steph Curry was on.
Colby, any thoughts overall seeding wise?
I thought the Mountain West got fucked again, but
well,
like Boise State,
they kind of deserve to be fucked. They suck every year.
Yeah, well,
they were horrible.
Check
ATS.
this out. That's gonna keep happening.
I forgot how bad they were. And I always love the Mountain West teams.
If you keep getting misseeded, it's gonna keep happening.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But also, they have not shown up. Mostly.
No, but like Boise, another thing that I want to key in on the Boise State side of things was, you know, at the time when Carolina lost with Withers, Boise hadn't played yet. They won 2 more games after that. So I thought Boise had solidified themselves in over San Diego State.
We talked about this on VSiN. We thought you thought being in the championship game was going to
especially the fact they beat San Diego State in a play-in game.
Yeah.
And
San Diego State still got in somehow.
Yeah, I mean they have the win against Houston. Maybe also, that's saving them.
Yeah,
but
I think this year more than most big wins like that helped some of these teams.
Well, let's talk about something that is hilarious though, because if you're going to put Carolina in, I do love the fact of them making Louisville an 8 seed. So you're basically saying, hey, the ACC sucks. We're taking
very confusing.
But it's like but we're going to put Carolina in. That makes no sense. It is quite.
What seed's Clemson?
Clemson is a 5.
Yeah, exactly. So to your point, they're saying the ACC is really bad,
but here's North Carolina.
We're going to make an exception for North Carolina.
Here's a shitty team in there for you.
Look, I mean, doesn't this happen every year? It's I feel bad that
this is the worst one ever.
I personally know Mac, so I feel bad for Mac.
Yeah, I feel horrible for the players.
I don't
man.
have any.
That's a great story where they rally. They were using like a 6-7 man rotation, and they fucking won a lot of big games.
Maybe they should think more about their carbon neutrality and stop burning those couches. Maybe.
All right. Any other big takeaways? Because we got our betting strategies, the March Madness commandments, and first 4 picks. We got games.
Couple notes.
Yes.
Our Michigan State opportunity will come against possibly either Rick Pitino's son or Shaka Smart.
Oh, beautiful.
Which that's very interesting. Fucking Buzz Williams is probably going to lose in the first round. That's just my Yale, my Ivy League champ Yale. Really not a good matchup there. Also, where is it? I was looking at it. Why don't they just can we just standardize on a layout for brackets? Why do we have to put, and some people put the East in the top left? Anyway, no, where is it? Is it Louisville that gets that has games in Kentucky?
Yeah. I was about to say. So Auburn.
What are you doing? How
you're
can
an Auburn
you punish
fan,
this?
If you're an Auburn fan, you're probably upset. I even think if you're a Florida fan, you might be upset. The winners to me, I think the Duke fans and the Alabama fans are very happy. They're in to me a bracket that I think has an easier path to go further.
It's disgusting.
What about Oregon?
Yeah.
Oregon's got a tricky game against the Flaming Libs to start things off.
They do. That number's a little high.
Yeah.
Even though I like Oregon overall, what are they? Laying 6.5 against Liberty on Friday. Oh man, so many games. This is just fucking awesome.
I also
love March Madness.
I noticed that Akron is in their common spot of a 13-14. And then I was like, I was looking at the last year's sheet, picking out some data for the commandments later. And I noted, I was like, damn it. Akron got whooped last year. We all took them. Maybe we need to have a long look in the mirror before taking them. But then they're playing Arizona.
I was about to say,
fuck, I'm all over Akron.
How many brackets have I had just completely shitted on the opening round by having Arizona lose to Princeton or whoever?
Yeah, they know how to do that.
I think that's another thing though to highlight though is the the SEC I thought got some hard draws. Yeah, I know I just said Alabama is a favorable thing, but you look at the conference as a whole. Auburn, obviously not the first round, but getting Louisville the second round, that's tricky, right?
I mean, Missouri,
assuming Louisville beats Creighton, I don't know that Louisville will, but Just the fact that that's a possibility.
Even Missouri starting off with Drake.
Oh, it's a hard,
Missouri, Drake.
matchup.
I think Kansas, Arkansas.
Stop there.
St. Mary's, Vandy.
Sean.
Yeah.
We could have John Calamari, and it's going to be John Calamari or Bill Self against Rick Pitino in the second round.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would say St. John's kind of has a like that. The West, I think, is very tempting for St. John's to go on a running.
I'm going to make a early prediction of my bracket. Feels like a spot where I could let the 11 seed slide through to the Sweet 16.
And they, they say that they modeled San Francisco after New York City, Sean. So Pitino's at home. He's at home there out west.
He's living his good. I mean, you heard the clip of him saying he's going to drink a bunch of whiskey. Celebrate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, hell of a guy.
Normally, I would be maybe finding a reason to fade this man winning a big conference.
Hold on though, let me
getting drunk, but
let me key in on those other SEC matchups because I think it's interesting. Gonzaga, Georgia, Vandy, St. Mary's, Troy, and Kentucky. I think is a sneaky game.
That's
right?
a loss. What's Pope's tournament record?
0-1.
Is it just?
Right? I think last year.
Yeah. Wait. Who did they lose to last year?
It was Duquesne. Who was that? Was it Duquesne?
What?
Who did BYU
Kentucky could definitely.
No, he was at BYU
Troy.
last year. Who did BYU lose to in the round? Was that Duquesne?
We lost. We had money on it.
I feel like it was Duquesne.
BYU is one of our system. Let's say.
But
VCU going up against BYU. Don't feel great about that.
Duquesne.
But no, I thought the SEC had some tough draws. I mean, this is going to be a very interesting bracket just because
I like that.
I circled the games.
Tennessee might have UCLA in the second round.
I like Tennessee out the gate, but after that, it's tricky. I mean,
you don't think Wofford can snake them?
I don't.
Probably not.
I don't.
Just imagine us in a packed sports book. Wofford draining threes.
Colby, we should take the under on SEC wins in the tournament.
Dude, it is tricky because look, Texas A&M draws Yale. Yale has beat Auburn last season. Now they don't.
I hate to say it, but I'm going to be picking against Buzz.
Really?
I think so.
With Yale. The Yaleys.
These Ivy Leagues. The year before, Princeton took down Arizona.
Well, it is like a disciplined, put together offense that really would be their kryptonite.
Or they're just like not athletic enough.
That's what I fear. Is like they're so experienced.
I'll probably get there by
sir. You seem to have stolen my spectacles. All right, let's talk some strategies because we're gonna have to pick a bunch of games.
Okay.
Next episode, picking every what are we doing? The Thursday games.
And
then Tuesday's episode, we picking the Friday games. We'll do a bonus episode at some point, probably Wednesday morning.
Picking our bracket,
giving out the entire bracket. Of course, get in on our bracket challenge. $2,000 up for grabs. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. But of course, plenty of action to get down. And if you're doing it, of course, do it over on DraftKings. When it comes to college basketball and March Mania, one thing is for sure, nothing's for sure. Upsets, buzzer beaters, Cinderella's advancing, top seeds going home early. It's all going to happen. Bet the unexpected every upset every day with DraftKings Sportsbook. Live betting, exclusive content, promos, and parlays. DraftKings is the ultimate college basketball destination for March. First time? Here's something special for you. DraftKings customers, you can bet $500 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Who doesn't want some bonus bets to start things off over on the good old DraftKings? I'm looking at the lines. We already have lines for the Force 4 where North Carolina, even though no one thought they could deserve to get in, 4.5 point favorites against San Diego State over on DraftKings currently. And obviously odds can shift. Bet the unexpected. DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SGP. That's code SGP for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877 8-HOPE NY or text HOPE NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming measures, see dkng.co/AUDIO. and Rhythm. Rhythm gonna get you, as our buddy CJ likes to say. Come hang out with us. CJ will also be there, the man in the box, letting him loose over at the stadium swim party. You have no idea what he's going to get into. It's going to be a great hang. And of course, sign up for Rhythm, dominate March Madness, and still a chance to get the $250 future. Just sign up, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party. You can RSVP for the party. If you can't make it out to Vegas, no worries. You can still have a chance to win the $250 future. And of course, dominate March Madness with Rhythm's predictions. Rhythm had Duquesne, NC State, Oakland, all on the money line. Love us some Rhythm Dogs. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party.
All right, Sean.
All right, Kramer.
Are you locked in?
Yeah,
fully locked into March Madness. Lasers focused.
100%.
I've noticed. I've seen. The third eye sees all. People are the buzz about first half overs and unders out there. I respect those speaking the great gospel of the first half under. These demons talking about all overs, Sean.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
what's that about?
I think it's good.
What's that about?
I think it's good because we need some balance in the marketplace, Ryan. We popularized the first half unders. They got out. We were selling the t-shirts, and last year was a rare down year. And now people are like, I'm out. I'm not in on all the first half unders. Don't want to do it this year. They've caught up to it. That's great because that's going to keep the numbers up, and we need balance. Because if everyone's taking the first half unders, it's going to fuck things up with the spread.
So yeah. And burying the lead, but welcome to the 10 Commandments.
Yes.
Feel like we've been crafting these for many years. Maybe the last 2 or 3 years they've been mostly in metaphorical stone. Number one is, of course, thou shalt bet all 36 first half unders,
and 36 because the first 4 are a part of the system.
Well, our show started the same year the first 4 started. Oh, very nice, Sean.
Got a nice little Photoshop, youtube.com/sportsgamingpodcast. Everyone saw the photo of Bill Belichick holding up his 26-year-old girlfriend on the beach.
Belichick is crushing. Right? I mean, in a million years, did you see this coming? Like Tom Brady's the uptight guy who kind of sucks at his new job.
Yeah,
Bill Belichick is just in college.
Tom Brady's girlfriend probably not much older, but Belichick just putting it out there.
Belichick doing more in the TMZ streets, which is pretty amazing. I don't think anyone was making that bet before the season.
So yes,
but and so just to be clear, we've been doing the show since 2011. So we've been tracking the first half under since 2011. And last year, Colby, was the worst year we've had in first half under street. So
I knew it was doomed because I was in a pisser somewhere in Vegas, and I think I just placed a bet. I don't remember what sports book we were at, but we just got to Vegas. We were out there like a week last year, and the guy next to me is like, "Yeah, going in on these first half unders," and as he's pissing, he's like completely shit hammered. And I was just like, "Oh man, we're fucked." Now I think this is the year because people got their, it did not do well last year. 13, 18 and 1.
Hold on. I had a typo.
Sure.
It was actually worse than that.
Oh, okay.
13, 21 and 2.
Okay. So yes, not a good year.
Like I said, the worst year.
And it's going to scare everyone off it.
Well, I mean, we have to realize that we also are coming off the golden streak. I mean, coming out of the pandemic for us to have
2021 having a 79% hit.
Should we relive the happening?
Oh,
I will refine that video.
I have it. I can play it right now.
Yeah, come on. This is the time to break it up.
59 seconds. Do we want to?
Audience will enjoy that. If you haven't seen the happening or weren't a fan of the show at the time, you missed out.
Yeah. And to be clear, I don't know if I have the file, but I do have it in StreamYard. Here we go. Actually, hold on. Okay, now here we go.
What if I told you that sometimes a bet is more than just
36 first half unders?
That instead of simply winning money, you were helping a nation heal. that a predictive, back-tested, highly scientific model could bring people together, and that they would rise up in support of air balls, missed layups, and shot clock violations. What if I told you that scoring big doesn't mean getting a lot of points? That the biggest shots are the ones that were missed. That first half unders can change people's lives. ESPN presents a 30 for 30 special. The Halfning, Tuesday, 8 p.m., presented by Levi's.
The guy did a great job with the VO.
They even snuck in that little Easter egg there at the end with the record. Very, very nice stuff. But yeah, I mean, and remember, I did predict over 69% that year. But I mean, even after that, to have a 58% year,
yeah.
And then the following year was basically a break-even year. Some people got some more fortunate numbers. That's when we really saw some of the movement, and it became, you know, that was the first year I went 50-50 digital paper ticket. You want to get a little bit of the good number. So yeah, I mean, we're back at it.
Commandment
obviously.
number 2, Ryan. What do we got?
Well, we all like KenPom. Colby says big KenPom guy. Only twice since 2000 has the national champion come from outside the top 20 in KenPom's adjusted offense and defense. Yukon, the wild ass, get hot, win the Big East, win all of it. 39th in offense that year. They were far outside.
Wait. Which year was it?
2014.
In the AAC that year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry. You're right.
They were taking with my East Carolina Pirates. We won a percentage of that championship.
And then the Baylor 2021 Baylor team was barely outside with the 22nd defense. Kind of an interesting season. Oh, that was the year there was the first 10 first half unders came in, and people were actively changing their lives. So what does that tell us? We want to look at the teams who are inside the top 20 in offense and defense in KenPom's efficiency this year. Sean, the teams did not change since we last spoke on the VSiN show. Florida, Auburn, Duke, Houston, Tennessee, Iowa State.
Iowa State was a little surprising.
Are your quote unquote contenders? Who jumps out to you, Colby? You're making I need a pipe in my hand face.
Well, I mean, Florida looks pretty fucking good the past couple months, but that's so chalky.
Yeah. Everyone's picking Florida for the record. Everyone's picking everyone's
I
following
hate to say
me.
it, but I think it's Duke. I mean, they lose a couple guys, they look fucking great.
They're still good.
And I love their bracket. I think it's Duke.
Anyone on this list that you don't think should be on this list?
Houston always fucks.
I can't trust Iowa State. I love Iowa State.
And Tennessee,
I would love,
and Tennessee.
Rick Barnes
winning a national championship. Come on, some of this we have to apply some common
I'll be honest. The way Auburn's looked lately, I don't know that I feel very good about them going that far.
Auburn is kind of crazy, just the way they've ended their season and the way they got knocked out early. Normally, you like a team like Auburn that gets knocked out from the conference tournament early because they get a chance to rest. They don't shoot their wad.
I don't like them playing either Creighton or Louisville in the second round, especially if it's Louisville in that crowd. But Creighton, I think, is capable of beating them as well. So if Auburn got a tough draw.
Auburn went from like, how can they possibly not make the Final Four to like, they could lose in the second round.
I think Houston has Houston might have Gonzaga in the second round. Probably is going to have Gonzaga in the second round.
Yeah, but I don't think. Yeah, I'm not too as a Houston guy. I'm sad that they're going to face Gonzaga or Georgia, but I'm not too worried about it.
Mark Few's been to a Sweet 16 every year for like fucking the past like 15 years.
That's fair, but this Houston team's very good.
What about some teams on the fringe? I mean, Michigan State, I feel like should still be contender, right?
That's why I love this season is because St. John's and Michigan State are going to test this shit.
Yeah, they really are. And what is St. John's? Well, because their offense is so bad.
All right.
What is their offense?
So we have a couple categories after that. We have fringe contenders on the offensive side. So these are teams inside the top 20 in offensive efficiency, but only inside the top 50 in defensive efficiency. Alabama, Texas Tech, Gonzaga, Arizona, Wisconsin, and Illinois sneaking in there in the back door.
I'm not buying that one.
Yeah. So these calling these fringe which one of these teams could potentially like a lot of people are circling Texas Tech. A lot of people are circling Gonzaga. We've seen the Zags line move.
I think Wisconsin. No, I mean, you got look. I came into this wanting to fade Alabama, but Alabama is in a great fucking bracket. Like you look at Alabama's competition, like I think it's going to be St. Mary's in the second round, or maybe it's Vandy, but they should be able to take down either of them. And then what? They're going to get Wisconsin or BYU. They're going to be so much more athletic than those teams.
It does seem like them versus Duke is the what I don't plan on being as chalky as I thought it was going to be, but I think the East feels like at the end of the day, the Elite Eight's going to be chalky. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an Alabama fan, you hit the jackpot on the fucking.
And then you have the
2 years in a row.
Then you have the fringe contenders that list that Sean was looking for, the ones that are inside the top 20 defensively. And that's Michigan State, Maryland, Texas A&M, Kansas, Michigan, Clemson, and UCLA. Clemson is actually the one team that was actually pretty close to being in the actual contender list. Something to think about when you're out there.
I think they would have been in.
They might be an undervalued team.
Remember, they were injured. The
Clemson's offense was 24th, defense was 16th. To Colby's point, this is a team that, kind of probably underrated a little bit.
Well, but also too, Michigan State 27th in offense, 5th in defense. Like they're not. St. John's is 65th in offense, number 1 in defense. So you combine Michigan State, it's only 32. So it's not.
Well, you'll notice St. John's
that far out.
St. John's is not on the list.
No, they're not even considered a fringe.
And
contender.
I know we've already kind of talked about it, but essentially, one national champion who shot worse than 30-something% from the 3-point line, and it was Pitinio's Louisville team. So
he's coming for these analytics nerds.
Here's what I would say. I think. Yeah, I mean,
they ain't never seen a suit like old Rick Pitino.
Never had don't question the white knight. Right?
Sorry. So last part.
These nerds never got any ass. Pitino's out there getting ass at every diner in America.
Last part of thou shalt respect the balanced team. Like to look at some teams that are very lopsided, very good on offense, really bad defense, or vice versa. So top 20 in offense, outside the top 100 in defense. Utah State, unfortunately, 17th on offense, 149th on defense.
You gotta like their draw though.
They're in that generally is a team I'm going to look to fade in the first round. I honorary mention Yukon because they're 14th on offense and somehow 92nd on defense.
I didn't really realize it was that bad. Danny Hurley, come on.
And we were talking about this before the show, but in terms of teams going for the three-peat outside of the UCLA team that won 7 straight, there have been 7 teams that have attempted to three-peat. None of them have been successful. 2008 Florida, which by the way, Colby knew every one of these right away. 2008 Florida, 1993 Duke, 66 UCLA, 63 Cincinnati. Who was on that team?
Oscar Roberts.
I mean, geez. Yeah. 57 San Francisco.
What's my guy's name? Bill Russell.
Bill Russell, former Celtic great. 1950 Kentucky.
Adolph Rupp, right? I didn't.
That
know,
is
I didn't,
imagine
I
if
didn't
that
know
guy
didn't he go to Nichols? Adolph Rupp.
Imagine if that guy was playing today. He would have to change his name, right? Like, what if you name your kid?
Gotta be tough, man. You just gotta be tough.
Yeah, you gotta be real tough. And then 1947 Oklahoma State.
That one I didn't know. That one I did not know.
But yeah, no, I think and then I actually fell down a rabbit hole of the ridiculous how dominant Yukon has been in the tournament, like the streaks that they're on. I think
they covered every last tournament. They covered every number, right?
Yeah, I believe it's the last 2 tournaments.
Well, I think they were like 4-2 one year and 6-0 the other.
They're 28-6 dating back to 2009. They hold some of the records they're holding right now in terms of number of games covered in a row. second place I think is 9. They're at 12. Yeah, so I wanted to mention the fact that they were
the ending of that Yukon game was pretty hilarious.
Oh, throwing
and I totally forgot when that it was Bill Murray's son that was like left going at it. I knew he was a part of the Yukon staff, but I forgot that was him.
It's pretty wild.
He looked like a mini Hurley.
He was smaller than her. And then we looked up that McDermott at 6'8".
Yeah, I didn't. Well, that was the other thing. Like,
you got to know who you're starting.
I know
fights
McDermott
with, right?
played, but I'm like, God damn, that guy's 6'8". So maybe they weren't that time, and maybe McDermott was just a big boy.
Just wanted to mention that Yukon was very close to being on the fade list. And on the other side, top 20 defense, but horrible offense outside the top 100. San Diego State. Oh no,
our gals.
Oh no.
This commandment number 3 is one of my favorites. Thou shalt fade the first round upset. Kramer, what's the logic behind that one?
Essentially you have a team that wasn't supposed to win.
Yep.
They win, and then everyone gets excited about them and wants to bet on them. So it's a little bit of a fade the public angle as well. We think the market tends to swing too much from a first to second round matchup in March. And so a couple ways to look at it. One, when you have an underdog of at least 7 points, coming off a win as a 6-point underdog or more, the sliders had to be dialed in just right. It's 14 and 26 ATS over the last 27. There was only one last year, and it was a push. Actually, it was the Oakland game, if I'm not mistaken. But just in general, the idea here. You're fading the fact that everyone is going to want to jump on this team. We saw it last year.
Cinderella.
Exactly. The other way to look at it, and probably a stronger trend.
This one I like almost better. This angle.
It was really bad last year, or really good if you were playing the trend or fading the trend, however you want to word it. Underdogs coming off a double-digit win. All right, so you were an underdog. You are an underdog this round in the second round.
First round.
And you're coming off second round. You're an underdog in the second round after coming off a double digit.
So maybe
win.
You're a favorite in the first round.
It doesn't matter. It's the idea that you're now a dog, even though you had a big win. That's the premise, right? Again, how are you a dog? You just had this huge win. Well, teams in that spot, 4 and 26 straight up, 7 and 23 ATS. Last 30. Last year, Sean, 1 in 6 ATS, 1 in 6 straight up. So very profitable.
Great year for it.
Basically, every team that had a big win that was a dog the next round got smoked. And so again, the idea is people are riding the wave of March Madness that don't typically ride the gambling wave. And there's nothing more fun than betting on Jack Golke after watching Jack Golke look like your best version of yourself in your rec league.
We got to get him back on the show. He's probably available.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think he's probably making some money across overseas, dominating.
I like that. This is one of my. This is one that I've played as long as the.
Oh, this is old school.
As long as the first half.
I don't know if it's. I mean, it's still you should adhere to it, but I don't know. I feel like the betting markets have kind of caught up to it a little bit because that shout ignored the seed number. 5 versus 12 is always the one we were talking about, but also too, like now we see 12 seeds favored and it's not that crazy.
I think that's part. I mean, it's like there's layers to the intelligence of the public.
Yeah.
You're not going to, the first round upset thing is a little bit more of the emotion. People have more data. It's not just like, oh wow, 5 better than 12. They must be. I think it's more like what does a 5 seed tend to be, and what is a 12 seed?
Yeah,
a 12 seed tends to be a really fucking good mid
conference winner,
really good team.
And I'm sorry, Jack Golke is a part of the Motor City Cruise right now. Shout out to them.
What's
really?
That?
Where's that
based?
G
League.
Oh shit! He's in the league.
Yeah, he's doing it.
Damn.
Doing it. Let's go.
I mean, that you want to talk about how 3-point shot is changing basketball. Jack Golke in the league,
killing it. Shout out to him.
But yeah, I mean, just seed number in general. I think about like 12, 13, 14. They're all most likely very, very good mid-major teams. Probably didn't lose a lot of games.
Oh, I mean,
probably all veteran, like juniors and seniors. The kind of team that cycles
You
in
describing Yale?
3 or 4 years. Yeah, the kind of team that you see pop in.
High Point versus Purdue.
Yeah. And so generally, it's also a situation where they overcome the talent gap with shooting or just perfect execution.
so if Yale wins and Michigan beats UC San Diego, Danny Wolf faces his old team.
Oh shit!
Drama.
Well, I will say this: like, kind of ignoring the seed number, because Michigan. What is the Michigan game? That's a 5-2. Yeah, UC San Diego. I don't know what the numbers moved to already, but this will be the public dog. I don't know if it's.
I
gonna
mean,
have
you
fleas.
gotta love it right now because
Everyone
Michigan just
loves it.
cut down the nets.
I completely agree, but just so we're on the same page, if I pull up the betting splits right now,
Well,
it's going to be a
interesting.
million percent.
I don't know because Michigan alums, there's a shit ton of them. You know what I mean?
I know, but this
Well, and UC San Diego's just been a machine.
I've heard
against
no
the
one
number.
talk about fading them.
Well,
I've
they're
heard-
just so good. I think they're one
know.
of the best
All right,
that we've seen.
It's already moved. All right, so I believe it opened around 4. It's already down to 2.5.
No, I'm seeing 3.5. What are you looking at there?
I'm looking at everywhere.
Okay.
I'm looking at everywhere, and I'm telling you that's about the average. So if we're talking about the DK number being whatever, what'd you say it was 3.5?
DK's 2.5.
Oh, okay.
But there are some 3.5s out there.
Oh, that confusing. Then why'd you challenge my 2.5?
I was just wondering where you got it from. You said everyone.
I think the trendy one that I've
popular
seen.
book that had a 3.5.
I think the most trendy one I've seen so far is Colorado State against Memphis.
No, you don't think it's the UC San Diego?
I mean, that one's been mentioned too.
Yeah.
But the Colorado State Memphis one, because Colorado State's just on fire right now.
I know. I saw some Fugazi analysts already had Colorado State as their Cinderella. I'm like, damn it, I like Colorado
Really?
State. I try not to let that go too much into my handicapping, but when you see someone who you just look at them and go, they don't know shit about college basketball or gambling, and they describe a pick or a take that you have, you immediately question yourself.
I hate what they've done here because I feel like every 5-12 matchup for the most part, I'm very torn on what to do.
Well, a High Point over Purdue. I mean, just Purdue and Matt Painter and that team fucking up in the first round. I could see myself.
So
leaning
yeah, I
into
mean,
that. So ignore the seed, which is a good.
yeah, and specifically that 13 seed, we've seen 1 13 seed win every or 12 out of the last 15 seasons. So
how many in the past couple of years have we seen 14, 15, 16?
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like that's becoming a trend.
we've seen. I mean, it's certainly been.
Is it crazy, Ryan? Let's talk about a system.
No.
Play every 13, 14, and 15 seed on the money line. So what are we talking? 12 bets, $100 each. You got to win what? 2 of them to be profitable? Obviously, it depends on which 2. But if you go 3 and 9, you're definitely making money.
I mean, all right. So
I'm trying to carve a new commandment here.
So we know.
Give me a good example. Like what? UNC Wilmington.
Wait, no, I'm saying you're asking from years past or this year.
No,
I'm
just this year.
We're just spitballing.
So Lipscomb. Right now I'm seeing
750.
860 is 860. 860.
Okay.
So you would only need probably 2 of those to win.
Yeah, I think it's fools. I'm probably fool. Akron's plus 750. Very nice. Probably maybe just bet take the ones you like.
Really? Not all of them?
I don't know if this is a system.
All right.
I think
feels like a system to me.
I think some of these 15 seeds I don't want to bet on.
Okay.
I don't think Robert Morris versus Alabama. I'm not.
Wofford's interesting. Oh, the 15.
But last year, what? Oakland was a 14, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with 14.
St. Peter's.
Maybe we just
was
go
what?
13 and
St.
14.
Peter's was a 15 that went to the Elite 8, right?
That was wild.
So Omaha, and Robert Morris, we could probably leave out.
All right, so I mean, so you're saying we'll just play all 13 and 14 seeds?
Because I think I like some of these 13 and 14 seeds.
Well, of course you.
Lipscomb, I like them. Yale, I like them.
It's your
Grand Canyon, I like
your
them.
instinctual reaction to them being the 13.
UNC Wilmington against Texas Tech. I don't know
the
about
witness
that.
is being
Troy,
led, Your Honor.
Troy, I like that.
Princeton was
High
a 15.
Point.
Princeton
High
was a
Point.
15.
All right, so Colby's lobbying.
God, I'm getting jacked up for gambling.
Colby's
What
lobbying.
was Yale last year? Were they 14?
Here's the problem. Here's who we'd have to take if we put the 15s in.
No, don't.
Fairleigh
Brian
Dickinson
Brian
was a
against
16.
Michigan State's a 2
Brian
seed.
against Michigan State, Omaha against St.
Okay, yeah.
John's,
No. 15, I
Wofford
went
against
too
Tennessee.
This is why it's a think
All
or a
right.
think tank right here.
All right, make a note. We'll scratch it down. Well, I think maybe we'll do that. That sounds like
Thou shalt respect the playing game. Commandment number 5.
I mean, what do you? There's not much to say here.
Yeah, everyone. One of those teams that wins the playing game is going to go on a little bit of a run. What are the stats on it, Rant?
So again, they playing game 2011. Since then, only 1 year did a team not make the round of 32. AKA, they win the playing game. They win their first round game. You just got to pick which one it's going to be. Obviously, it seems like North Carolina's that team this year, with everyone dunking on them.
I mean, it could be Xavier too. They're getting some heat too.
You know, I'll have to do some when we talk about the games later. I think we'll workshop our ideas there. But doesn't it just seem like it's going to be Texas, as annoying as that is?
Well, I honestly, Xavier or Texas could beat Illinois. Illinois is all over the place.
Yeah. They're the team that had won and lost the game by like 30.
But and then what's the other one? If San Diego State or Carolina, what are they? Who are they facing again? They're facing the winner of. I mean,
Ole
Chris
Miss.
Beard and Ole Miss.
Oh, I don't get me started. Ole Miss might go on a little run here. Ole Miss might go on a little run. I'm not worried about that piece at all.
Number 6, thou shalt not believe in fairy tales. That's basically you're gonna be a top seed if you win it all.
Since 1985, 30 of 164 Final Four teams have come from outside the top 4 seeds. So what's that, like 15%? Now NC State was the 11 seed last year, so that they were one of those 30 teams. But yeah, to your point, you're just, I mean, what is that? 40 years we're talking. So over a 40-year stretch, 30 teams have made the Final Four from outside the top 4 seeds. So 3 every 4 years. It's not very common.
Yeah, and then the teams.
So don't fuck your bracket up.
Teams that have won it are almost always a top 3 seed. 2023 Connecticut was a 4 seed. UConn's on here twice. 2011 UConn 7. Arizona back in 97's a 4. 1988 Kansas a 6. 1985 Villanova an 8 seed. That was pretty, and that's the highest seed to have ever won it.
Ed Pinckney.
And that was a very different college basketball.
I mean, yeah, it just shows, and this is probably more just for your bracket, or even like we talked about taking the Final Four futures instead of the national championship futures, but it just, you can have fun in the first round. Maybe a little bit of spunk into the Sweet 16, but don't get too wild.
Am I crazy to think though? Like, and maybe it's just
yeah.
I think there's more. I think like there's more good games this year than the past couple of years.
Because NIL is amazing. Well, there's more good teams.
Yeah,
the talent has distributed itself.
The
SEC is a basketball conference now.
Yeah, I mean, you could build a case for like an upset almost in.
I'll be building a lot of those cases.
Yeah.
All right, number 7, Sean's favorite.
Thou shalt keep free throw percentage holy. And Kramer did a great job pulling this data. If you shoot 77% plus at the line, 87, 52 and 2 ATS, 63%. So everyone thinks, oh, Sean, all you care about a free throw percentage. Yeah, because I care about winning bets. And then I didn't realize this. He broke it down when favored of 6 or less, or a dog, 60 and 29 ATS at 67%. But when a favorite of 4 or less, or a dog, 41-18 ATS, 70% covering the spread. So again, if you're close to the line, look towards these teams. If you're a dog or I don't know, any 77% plus, unless it's like these massive spreads, you should be on the team that shoots 77% plus.
Sean will be releasing his free throw model.
I will.
games.
Just sorted by KenPom.
Just trying to find where St. John's at. Sean's gonna be all baffled by that.
Well, there are also.
I do like St. John's.
There are plenty of other ways to look at this.
295th in the nation.
Yeah,
free throw shooting.
I
Could be
St. John's.
Well, but again, it's ATS, so
St. John's is an outlier.
maybe they're not covering.
They're gonna destroy the whole the
So many-
KenPoms, the art shit, everything, right?
They're an outlier for so many things.
Thank God, Michigan State 78%.
Well,
Can breathe easy.
let's.
But to your point too, like against Bryant, the spread is so big, the angle isn't quite as strong, right? So it's real strong at 6 or less. The spread even stronger at 4 or less. Bryant would fall under the catch-all of the 87-52.
The premise is that the further you get away from 0, the worse the trend becomes.
Yeah,
And
So
I think the worst team in the entire NCAA tournament is the Flaming Libs of Liberty.
And so there's other ways that you can layer. You can go further here because
no, I love it. Quack, quack, quack.
I don't have.
San Diego State would be second worst.
Oh, I see. This sucks because I like
Yeah.
San Diego State, but there's
No,
I mean,
there are a lot of reasons to fade
how
in this.
bad they've done,
Lot of
how bad
reasons.
the Mountain West has done ATS, and you
Yeah.
look at UNC. Of course,
Yeah.
they're going to win and cover and look great.
Third would be New Mexico. This Mountain West is might have some tough days ahead of them.
Now, if you can find a matchup where you have 77, the Magic 77%, and the other team is 66 or worse,
Yeah,
it's a relatively small sample, but it balloons up to something ridiculous like 13-4.
now Oregon's close. Oregon's 76.3, and they're facing Liberty 65.4.
Yeah.
that's tough.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
tough.
not good.
Here's how I'm going to play this. I'm going to play them all. I'm going to play all the 77% or greater free
Yeah.
throw shootings. Well, no, it's going to be a factor.
Well, and also too, because the Oregon Liberty spread is a little higher. It's 6.5.
Oh, okay. We'll
Over
get
on
it out of here.
DraftKings.
Get it out of here. I mean, a 2/3 trend is pretty strong, Sean.
Kramer, this game's going to be going on while we're doing our
Oh,
VSiN
wow.
show Friday night.
Watching free throws, doing the
I'm
show.
going to be drunk. And
Sean,
just
you're
check
on
out.
Yale. Texas A&M is a bottom 6
Yeah.
team in the entire bracket
Oh,
in free throw shooting.
Col-
there.
Colby,
I mean, the more I look at it, the more Yale could be winning outright. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
7. Either way, 7.5 is way too high.
all right, number 8, which this kind of touches on St. John's as well. Thou shalt fade major conference tourney winners.
Well,
we
that-
remember Auburn last
but
year.
you just said UC San Diego's chalky. Michigan just
Oh,
won.
not
no, yeah, no, that's what I mean. Yeah, people are fading Michigan.
I know, but you okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I thought you were saying we should not take UC San Diego.
Oh no, I'm saying. So the premise of not fading. No, I'm saying we yes, we have to be careful because it's a very public dog.
Yes.
I said I don't know if it has fleas yet, but in general, now Auburn 2024, Arizona 2023. There's some examples of teams falling flat on their face, but in general, I feel like
Bless you.
thank you.
in doing a little bit of research here that this commandment is a little bit like on thin ice, because we've seen some nice runs out of teams winning their conference tournament. Now, the general premise is a rest thing.
NC State, right?
NC State would
Yeah.
be an example last year. There's been some others. I don't know.
83 NC State as
how
well.
How about UConn winning the national championship
And
twice?
14, right?
Uh,
yeah.
Well, no, last year.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
last year
14.
they-
Well, 14 they had to get in.
No, wait,
Yeah.
did they?
Yeah.
But did they? Sorry, did they win their conference championship last year? Or no?
They
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
Yeah, they
I thought so. I'm like
they
they were
went
just
berserk.
they dominated.
So the idea is really you want to it becomes you don't really want to play late into the week, but you know,
Isn't it almost? And you highlighted Arizona in 2023. They crashed out pretty early. Auburn, they both lost. Isn't it? To me, isn't it more? And thou shalt fade, but isn't it more just like, especially in those early rounds, they're more susceptible than upsets than maybe a traditional team?
Wisconsin lost. Wisconsin lost. The Big
I
Ten
would
tournament
I would
last year.
almost amend this to like exclude the 1 and 2 seeds.
Okay.
And like again, this is in that like 3
Because,
to
like, yeah,
3 to
like-
5 seed band where you have these they're not the elite of the elite, but they won the conference tournament a little bit as.
I mean, you're
upset.
describing Michigan, right?
Yeah,
totally.
Michigan would fit that model this year.
Florida.
I mean, they've kind of been a darling for a while now, but
I think if you include
also,
the caveat about the ones, at least the one seed, I think it kind of makes it more. It makes it make sense more and leans you in more towards the number one.
So Memphis would be one we're concerned about.
Yeah.
Then, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Derek Stevens. Might come by the Rhythm Party. He has Memphis going on a run there.
So and I
like it. I like it, man.
I also threw into the major conference.
It's weird. I like Memphis, but I think that I don't know the fact that everyone's
Colorado
on Colorado State
will be very popular.
I think Memphis'
Colorado
length
State
is going to give them a problem.
You think so?
I do.
Colorado State looked damn good though.
I know they've been on fire.
I'm gonna be scared to go against them, but it might be the play.
How did Colorado State play in their games against San Diego State this year?
Well, Colorado State was a weird team. Early on, they looked like shit.
But
For
also,
the first
too,
couple
this,
months, they looked
I
like
was just
shit.
saying that's.
Yeah.
They
but
don't
what we're talking about too is baked in the number. Memphis is a dog here.
Yeah.
So.
I also
I'm on Memphis. I'll make that pick right now.
Giving out picks.
Yeah, let's go. Give me that Memphis Tiger play.
Well, and quick asterisk. So I know this isn't a major conference, although Colby might argue. Worth noting that the Mountain West since 2005, 26-53-2 ATS.
Got to give them better seeds.
7-20.
Got to give them better seeds.
That's just not good. This is ATS, Sean.
Yeah. Well, I mean, San Diego State wins every game by one all the way to go to the finals. You know,
unreal. All right, number 9.
Yeah, I love this one.
Thou shalt not worship false idols. I almost put the Mountain West in this category. Since Colby is BFFs with all the coaches, there's a lot of false idols.
The seating's been unjust, man. It's been unjust.
The highlights of this thou shalt not worship false idols. The idea is that you are, and I was kind of thinking about this on the drive in. This almost can apply to the major conference thing, in that like when you win your major conference and you're not really the best team, you just had that best tournament, kind of the same thing, but highlighting some of the coaches that we love to bet on and love to fade. Calipari is interesting because he has a great record overall, and you will hear people say he has a great record ATS, but
not since everyone could pay.
I know a lot of that was way back in the day, like like Derrick Rose back in the day. 1-4, so 31-23-3 overall. 1-4 his last 5 ATS. And here's the craziest stat: in the first round, he's 20-3 overall.
ATS.
No, straight up. But 1-2 in his last 3. So, like Colby said, when the money became equal, he's really starting to struggle. We also have Matt Painter, who's Matt Painter, who's been good. Again, though, you look at, if you break it down by season, watch out. He's had some very good runs and then some very bad runs. This team feels like on the bad side. And then Sean, I left Jim Boeheim on the list because he was so good in the tournament. 55-36-3 ATS. He's doing media. I don't know if you tune into the ATS programming just to hear him talk, but he's there. And then, of course, friendly reminder: the reason we created this in the first place was to point out Rick Barnes, regular season Rick. He's definitely fallen on his face and he's coming off a little bit of a heater last year. So talk about someone who's due.
Wofford's live.
And then Mark had a few shockingly bad ATS number. Now some of this is probably arguable when they were like at the top of the top.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually when they were really good, when they were laying big numbers.
What's Sean Miller? I feel like I was looking up some older stats. I feel like he was decent.
You have a hard time trusting him in the tournament. I'll be honest, Bruce Pearl's one I don't trust much in March. Bruce Pearl, I don't have the ATS numbers, but I'm saying like that's one I'm looking at.
You just watch their teams, and there's just certain aspects of like, they didn't practice that. I mean,
he had that crazy Final Four run in 2018, but they should have lost in the first round. New Mexico State missed 3 free throws that would have won them the game. But besides that, I mean, look. Out in the first round last year, right? The year before, right? Then the round of 32.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
he's definitely got a little pressure on him. I think this is kind of a big tournament for him. Well, I was going to use this to prop up Drake.
Ooh.
You want to talk about coaching?
oh yeah.
Not Drake the musician.
You're a huge fan of his.
Kendrick's
work,
already taking care of that for me.
Colby,
But
do you know what? Kramer's a big Drewski fan. Loves his comedy.
Tell me you heard about the
I've heard about
slip and
this.
slide. It's not
McCollum,
the car wash.
You're talking about Ben McCollum.
Yeah.
Who? But the problem is the distractions. The Indiana job. Is he going to get the Indiana gig?
Is that a problem?
I don't think so. I think this dude's just a fucking winner.
I do think that if you do what he did, I don't think maybe you walk away after 1 year, but it seems like why?
He's an Iowa guy too, but millions of dollars is millions of dollars.
It's fair. There was another team where the head coach is being rumored to, is it the Minnesota job?
It's Chris Beard. Yeah. Nico Medved, Colorado State.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Sean,
He's
put an
from
asterisk
Minnesota,
there.
yeah.
That's the other part.
I would say Chris Beard's one you should put an asterisk next to.
Well, people are saying the Colorado State one, it sounds like he's already,
Well, he's from there.
yeah, it's a done deal. He's taking the Minnesota job. How in could you be? Chris Beard, I don't know. I was kind of, because I want to bet on them, I'm kind of like doing some mental gymnastics around the fact that he needs this to rehab his image.
Colorado State was 25-9 ATS this season. My God.
And they're gonna
no, sorry, that's straight up. But
and they're gonna lose in their first game.
They might.
And who's I mean, Sean, you want to use this opportunity to talk about Tom Izzo?
Awesome
on the short rest, on the short turnaround.
Oh yeah, that was always an angle we had. Lean into your good coaches that you believe in on the short rest. Like they'll be Michigan State. Do they play Thursday or Friday?
While you're looking that up,
I'm pretty sure they play Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Colby McNeese.
No wait, they play Friday. And Friday, and they're laying 17.5 against Bryant. So assuming they get past Bryant, look to play them Sunday, because that quick turnaround isn't always easy for some of these other coaches.
The Will Wade one, I believe Will Wade has already had conversations with NC State.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I don't know if
did he get a strong ass offer?
I mean, you got my first thought when I saw that matchup was I was like, man, McNeese athletically could be, a tough matchup. But then I'm like, where's his head? Where's the head at here? Are you already thinking about?
He does not care about getting to the second round and losing.
I'm gonna get a refill. Let's talk last.
Although if I looked at this, if I was McNeese and I looked at this bracket,
it's possible.
I'm like, well, we might be playing high point.
I'm telling you, man, and I hate that.
You saying the Zags are getting out there?
I think there's a lot of opportunity in especially the Midwest region. I think there's a lot of opportunity. I know Houston and Tennessee look great in the regular season, but Houston always gets getting the Zags in the second round. I think is crazy. Right. That could be a challenging game, and then Tennessee just with the Barnes history, that thing could open up. And then the other spots, like if High Point upsets Purdue, if McNeese upsets Clemson, I think they could not only win that game, I think they could win another game. Yeah. And then like we talked about, Xavier, Texas could go on a run against the Illini. I think Troy is going to give Kentucky a game.
The 2 seeds, Rick Pitino, Tom Izzo, Nate Oates, Rick Barnes. All very established coaches. If you had,
if Arkansas beats Kansas and then plays St. John's, I'm gonna love that matchup. Calamari versus Pitino.
Self is just as good.
Yeah,
but of the 2 seeds, if you had to make a bet on a team not to
Pitino doesn't believe in love letters.
You have to bet on one of those 2 seeds them to not win their first round.
Oh,
game.
it's gotta be Tennessee.
Let me think about this. It is.
Colby knows the matchups better, but
it's Omaha.
You think Omaha could upset St. John's?
They're celebrating, dude. They're partying. That they won the fucking Big East for the first time in years.
I still think Pitino's too good of a coach.
I know, but
he wanted a loss. Colby, we talked about that angle.
Do you remember,
a bunch all season? He wanted the loss.
Go look at his history.
Isn't this the perfect thou shalt fade the
Colby? Who's the best
conference
15
winner?
seed?
The best 15 seed out of all of these. I think it's Bryant.
Okay.
So it
It could be Omaha. Yeah.
But Michigan State got knocked out early. They're going to be locked in. Laser focus.
Look, my thing is this: St. John's. I'm sorry, Rick Pitino. Look back at his track record. I feel like he rarely loses the first round. He'll do that full court press, and these mid majors will get fucked up.
Possibly. That's fair. All right. Last one. And then we'll do some first 4 picks.
Let's go.
Commandment number 10. Nobody shall give a crap about thy bracket.
Best example of this was this?
Don't root for your bracket.
What was it? Was it 2 years ago or last year where we were hanging out at the Palazzo at that horrible March Madness party with the prostitutes? I mean, it was great for content. We got hammered, and it was when
we talked about that anywhere?
Oh yeah, we talked about a bunch of the show, but it was the worst like viewing party ever. First off, we go there.
It was like a nightclub.
It was a nightclub at the Palazzo, which is normally a great property. And our buddy Dick Olson was like, "I got VIP passes. We got to go here. We got to go here." We're like, "All right, fine." We go there. It completely fucking sucks. We had like a minimum that we were supposed to spend as part of it. We couldn't even get it because these chicks wouldn't even bring over the drinks. I asked for Jameson. It was on St. Patrick's Day. They didn't have it.
Yeah.
I go, how are you a bar in Vegas on St. Patrick's Day and you don't have Jameson? They didn't have Guinness.
And we found out that the food that they were the menu was basically just
room
the hotel's rooms.
Yeah, we got this pizza that was like a fucking
Took like
frisbee
2 hours
with mozzarella,
to get there.
and it was horrible. It was horrible. We just complained nonstop. But there was this hilarious old dude who had like some prostitutes that he was meeting later on, and that was great
throughout the day.
He had met with separate prostitutes.
He missed.
This guy's in like 60s on a golf trip.
Yeah.
We're watching the game. He's telling us about it. He's going to get these prostitutes.
I thought he was just bullshit.
Lady shows up,
and then out of nowhere, this chick who's like a decent looking woman just comes and sits down next to him. We're like, "Oh my god, this is the prostitute."
20 minutes later, he's gone.
Yeah, he goes up.
Yeah.
He changes. He comes back down.
He comes back down, and he's like, "I feel great." And then another
guy had a lot of lead in his pencil. I mean, God bless him. 2 times in one day with working ladies
during March Madness.
I mean.
He's one of those
And
you can tell he's like a CEO. He's got that sociopathic.
So
vibe.
this was the year where Purdue lost. So when was that? Was it 2 years ago, right?
No, that was last year. That was last year.
That was last year.
Jesus Christ.
Really?
I think it was.
No. Chat, correct me.
Yeah, it was last year.
It was last year.
Last year we did the.
Oh yeah, I guess Zach Edey was on the team. Zach Edey, rookie of the year. All right. He's not rookie of the year, but he is a rookie now. So yeah, and there was a group of guys that were like rooting almost against Purdue because they had Purdue in their bracket, and CJ's like, "Shut the fuck up! No one cares about your bracket. We're about to see Purdue lose outright." He was very annoyed.
CJ was.
Oh, that was a great day.
The man in the box, not happy.
I know Darius there was looking up some stats.
Oh wow.
Since 2021, the oldest average age teams weighted by minutes played have a combined ATS record of 27 and 19.
So basically, the older you are, the better.
Yeah. I think that's
you'll do.
All these teams, I feel like that's another thing. It's like Final Four teams. I feel like majority of them have been veteran teams over the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite in the commandments, but the veteran guard play is always like the cliche. You want, well, it's like really you just want teams that know how to handle the ball
and play well, also
and won't break down when there's pressure.
And I feel like NIL is maybe going to get away from that a little bit because guys will end up staying a little bit longer. Like the one and dones obviously are still common, but maybe not quite as common. It'll be interesting to see as this goes along.
I actually think it's going to have to be more of a like the coaching of evolution. I think of being able to take the guy who's in his 5th year of college but transferred for that big deal and can get him going and make that work. Because I feel like you're less likely to have a guy stay at a place for 5 years.
Oh, real quick, CJ reminding of a great moment. in the Bottom Line Bombs chat. Check that podcast out. Pointing out the hooker guy was incredible. He hedged them. He ordered 4. One had to show up. Yes, I forgot about that. And then I think the second ended up showing up. He assumed some would flake. I mean, they are hookers.
I feel like you got to be.
He told some story about banging a hooker on the golf course. Again, I thought it was bullshit, but then when you see the guy, the way he operated, I'm like, maybe it wasn't.
He was not bullshitting about anything.
He reminded me of like an oil tycoon, dude.
Yeah.
And then his friends were he left and they were just apologizing for him. They're like, oh, we're so sorry. That's very embarrassing.
No, we're like, this is the most entertaining thing. We have a podcast that people listen to. They're going to love this. Hey, let's do a little underdog bonus pick and then get to some first 4 picks. Colby over on Underdog Fantasy. We're using the promo code SGPN, getting a sweet deposit bonus up to $1,000 in credits. I mean, we got some UNC, San Diego State. What do we got some Mount St. Mary's American. We got some Xavier, Texas action. What do you like here for a little underdog?
You guys forgot to congratulate me on my Mount St. Mary's future.
Oh, what's your future?
I had it too.
Neither one of you.
I had it too.
Even said congratulations.
Plus 950.
It was a nice hit.
Plus 950,
nice
buddy. But you did hit on Yale.
Well,
He's a Yale.
Smashed that.
You hit on Yale. I had Mount St. Mary's. It's crazy. See, he's
Yale
selfish. That's the problem with this prick.
Yale almost lost to Princeton, but then
they got it done.
That's all she wrote.
He doesn't talk about the fact that I had that thing too. All right. We both had Akron at plus 250.
Your buddy Adam Shine. He's the one that celebrates it.
Oh, look at this guy.
Hey,
Sean getting dapped up by the man himself.
No, that was Adam Shine was touting Colby's win.
That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
He was the man himself was Adam Shine, and he was dapping up Colby virtually.
Oh, but you said Sean.
He's in another golf chum. You know, we get out of those.
Really?
See him on the
Adam
course.
Shine?
Colby, what are we doing for Underdog? Give us some plays for Underdog.
Yeah, I'm all over RJ Davis higher than 15.5 points. I know San Diego State's a great defensive team, but I think he will get his. Also, American Mount St. Mary's. They're playing this fucking date. Give me the lower 17.5 points on Matt Rogers. I know he's a senior. I know he's been balling out for them, but playing at a stadium not familiar with, little nerves, nationally televised.
I like that.
I'm in.
That was a free. If you're watching on YouTube, you just saw Colby freestyle.
RJ Davis higher 15.5 points. Matt Rogers lower 17.5 points. We've been on a nice little heater here, Colby.
Well,
I know Kramer keep fading us.
Should I fade
at your own peril? Yeah, that's our secret sauce. Is you fading us.
I was gonna tail this time. You're saying I should flip around and fade?
No, stay fading.
All right,
Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN, and of course, shout out to Edge Boost. Love Edge Boost. It's a great card. I mean, first off, it's a debit card, a Visa debit card built for gamblers. You're never going to have your card rejected. You're not going to have to pay. You know, some of these apps, they charge you a cash advance. What the hell? Why would you pay for a cash advance for your own fucking cash? It's insane. You can get up to $750 cash back each month. I've been using my Edge Boost rewards. Perfect for firing on some crazy long shot stuff. Cause why not? It's free. That's right. The card's free. The rewards are free. FDIC insured, no credit check, so nothing's gonna ding you, and you get entrance into our bracket competition. sportsgamingpodcast.com/bracket. But of course, edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. That's the first step. Edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Get the better cash back rewards. Edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN.
Man, there really are a ton of good. Colby's right. A lot of great matchups in this year.
I actually think it's harder than the previous years. When
maybe
you look
the
at
best.
this thing, I think it's. I do think it's the best I've
Wilmington
seen.
versus Texas Tech. Are you kidding me?
I mean, all these Missouri, Drake, Maryland, Grand Canyon. You tell me you feel confident that Maryland's just going to fuck them up?
Porter Moser, Dan Hurley on the same court.
BYU, VCU. I mean, you can go on and on. Clemson, McNeese could be interesting.
All right.
You know,
beautiful. All right. And Colby's going to be with us all week, Sean.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Somehow secured his time.
I told Colby the conference tournament time was tough. All the TVs, setting them, finding the
you guys
finding what the SWAC channel is on, the NEC app.
You guys lost your director of programming.
Yeah,
you guys
no, we really
underrated
did.
that loss, in my opinion. When
No,
I moved east,
I was when you said you were moving.
Yeah.
I'm like, who will set up the TV?
Patty C's not doing a great job.
No,
All right, let's. You want to talk some first four?
let's go.
All right, so we got Tuesday night, 3:40 p.m. on the West Coast. Of course, for some reason, Dayton, Ohio, has cornered the market on the first four forever. Everything else is for sale in college sports, but not the first four.
Nope.
Like, what the fuck is this shit? You're making these teams go to Dayton. The degree of difficulty, amazing.
I have a bigger problem with doing the Final Fours at these gigantic football stadiums.
Yeah, I also agree with that.
I mean, you see like the people in the top row, and it's like they're watching the game from a fucking blimp. You know what I mean? Like it's like, what are you even wasting your money on?
It is remarkable where people will sit to watch about. It's like just like a bar actually would be more fun.
Even binoculars would be horrible. You're just trying because you're trying to. The game moves so fast. Yeah. Let's get rid of that before Dayton.
Yeah. So 3:40 p.m. on the West Coast in Dayton, 16 seed on 16 seed. St. Francis, hell of a run to get it done. They're catching 3.5 against Alabama State. I projected first half totals.
Okay.
65.5. Obviously, we'll be taking the under. I do think we'll have all first half totals opened for the first round games by tomorrow night when we are live with the show. But back to this matchup, Colby. Break down these two juggernauts.
St. Francis, knocked off the top two teams in the NEC to get that championship. Now, they almost lost. They probably should have lost in the opening round. They got very fortunate to get past there. Obviously, with a lot of these other mid majors, I feel like you get a team full of guard play. They're just a whole roster of guards for the most part with Riley Parker and Rosenberger the third.
Whoa,
Bobby Rosenberger the third. Sean,
here's your dollar, Mortimer.
St. Francis has won 6 games in a row.
I know,
Coming in,
man, they've had a horseshoe in there. I mean, Long Island was up 17 on them. And hey, don't sleep on Alabama State and what they've done. They have won I think 11 of 12 down the stretch here. The Hornets are heating up. I think their athleticism now. It's tricky because Alabama State kind of reminds me in a way of Long Island. Long Island had a big lead against St. Francis. St. Francis, was able to withstand that, come all the way back, tie this thing up. But I'm going with my Hornets. I'm a SWAC specialist, guys. I don't know if you guys know this.
Love the SWAC.
I will take the Alabama State Hornets to get it done in this matchup.
I agree with Ryan Hasty in the chat saying if you win your tourney, you should be in the field of 64 automatically. You don't need to play a playing game if you're a champion.
Go.
I'm with him.
Right. Just make him a regular 16 seed.
You should play all these other bullshit teams that are sitting there.
But who would be the so you're saying the playing team should just all be like 11 seeds basically?
The teams on the bubble.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm fine with that too. Alabama State takes care of the ball at an elite level, Sean. Top 5 in the country.
I did see that one green box on there on the KenPom breakdown.
And it is one of those things. That
Here's the problem.
A lot of seniors on that team.
Here's the problem. The more I think about it. How close is this university to Dayton, Ohio?
Where?
Loretta, Pennsylvania to Dayton, Ohio.
I don't
what
know.
is that?
I
What
don't
is
know
that
nothing
distance?
about Loretta.
It's not a. That's not a. You're going against Rob Krimmel. I mean, we talked about also this St. Francis mascot's awesome.
Holy shit! It's like it's 340 miles.
That's what I'm saying. That might be sneaky. That might be sneaky, man.
You don't think the SWAC's gonna have some crowd there?
I'm sticking with my Hornets, but I am worried about the home environment.
Kramer, pull up another photo of the St. Francis mascot. This guy fucks. And
they can't let this thing win.
I understand the appeal with the Alabama State, and maybe they win, but I think 3.5 is too crazy. This St. Francis team doesn't really have much quit in them. I would be very surprised if they come here to Dayton and get their ass kicked.
This is fucking terrifying. Are you sure you want me to put this on the
interwebs,
live internet? I mean, they can't. What are these graphics? They can't possibly let this thing into the
Oh my God, this thing is going to be. This gentleman's amazing.
You think they're gonna let him in?
Yes, he is almost like like a Jim Henson
All right.
nightmare.
I'm just gonna screenshot it. We'll do this. I mean, look at this. This actually is frightening.
YouTube.com/Sports Gambling Podcast.
I'm just waiting for the. I like that.
No, that's come on. That's from like 1950. Pull up a current photo of him.
That one's actually great. They need to go back to that one.
Come on, that looks like the mascot went through the car wash and he's just like wet and soggy. Come on, what the hell is that? Get that thing off the screen. That's gonna give me nightmares.
All right, how about this one? Don't look at it. It's still on the screen, Sean. It's taking a second to switch. All right.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Look at that, this sweet bald head. St. Francis.
I don't understand this logo at all.
You guys are crazy.
This is like Bizarro Sister Jean.
NEC gets it done.
And
Plus 3.5 is way too high.
it's always worth bringing up the conference rankings. So SWAC worst conference according to KenPom,
Yep.
right there with them, the NEC. I just think I'm going to go back to the general ball handling and the experience on Alabama State. And I listen to my SWAC specialist, Colby Dant. Also,
Well, they're not playing. There's only one SWAC team in this matchup.
yeah, that's why he's telling me about the SWAC team that's going to win against the NEC team. And we're all taking the first half under.
Yes.
6-10 on the West Coast. The San Diego State Our Gals taking on the UNC Frauds. North Carolina. This number's moved already up to 4.5 minus 180 on the money line. Oh man, I'm gonna be tempted by the San Diego State money line. I know it already. 66 projected to be the first half total. I hate this because there's so many things pointing me to fade San Diego State.
Also, too,
I do have a ticket for them to make the Final Four. So the ultimate hedge, maybe I delay it with.
Also, too, I know it's like just out of what we described, but Ryan,
What?
UNC kind of a fringe contender. 22nd in offensive efficiency, 53rd in defensive efficiency.
They're close.
They're like right. They're fringe contenders.
And some people will tell you if you zoom in to the end of the season, they were playing quite well.
7 percentage point better at the free throw line.
I would then counter that point, like as Colby's pointed out, they're not like against who. Like,
Yeah.
Who are all this great play, the padding of their efficiency numbers? Who? What was the big win in that stretch? Was it Florida State?
Yep.
Was it Wake Forest?
That was the big one, huh?
Notre Dame.
So did someone tell the Florida State Seminoles that was a big one?
Like
Miami.
They're horrible.
Virginia
Miami. I mean, these are bad teams. These are very bad teams.
Oh yeah, they beat SMU. They beat UCLA on a neutral.
All right, so
no, I understand why they shouldn't be in the tournament. That being said, they're going to win and cover against San Diego State because San Diego State doesn't have the offense. We just talked about
Brian Dutcher is Brian Dutcher, man. He's going to get these guys ready. North Carolina does to me. He's going to challenge their guards.
True. Huge
challenge their
huge
guards.
advantage
Yeah.
over Hubert Davis.
Look, San Diego State. I get it. They're a young team. They haven't been, the greatest team especially down the stretch. They've lost 3 in the past, like what?
Mountain
2
West
weeks or so.
ATS.
That's true.
But this is a
Free
team-
throw percentage. We just did like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
20 minutes about all these commandments.
All I'll say is this: San Diego State beat UC San Diego. They beat Creighton. They
Big
beat
win.
Houston. They beat Utah State.
They have some
They
big
beat
wins.
Boise State. They've beaten some good teams.
San Diego State's a frustrating.
But
team
that's the
this year.
problem. They're not playing a
They
good
beat New
team. They're playing
Mexico.
North Carolina. They beat good teams, but they don't beat teams like North Carolina.
They
lose
struggle
to
against
Boise State.
They got swept by UNLV.
They lose the UNLV. They lose to Utah State.
I'm going to trust Brian Dutcher. It is going to be a Carolina crowd, though.
Yeah,
But I'm going to trust Brian.
Carolina gets it done. Colby's nervous.
Give me the points. It's too
Kramer,
many
what are you
points.
doing?
Brian Dutcher will slow this game up. It's like Tony Bennett 2.0.
I don't want to take North Carolina here. Everyone's on North Carolina. The numbers moving already. You look at the bet splits. It's obvious everyone's going to be on North Carolina because everyone's going to say they don't deserve to be here. We have to bet on them. So what a perfect excuse for me to hop right back on San Diego State, throw out all the trends. Come on. We watched this North Carolina team. Some look like complete hogwash, and then Duke's, scrubs without Cooper Flagg, who I still don't buy #1 pick in the draft. I look at the pimples on that guy's face. White. I mean, come on. He looks soft as fuck. You don't look at Cooper Flagg and think that you're not.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking good.
You're good.
Yeah,
I know, but
obviously.
But then you look at that pimply face and you're like, that's not going to work in the NBA. Yeah, I don't know. Moving along. I guess I'm. Even though objectively we should be fading San Diego State. Everything tells me to fade them. I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to stand with the people. Fuck North Carolina. They shouldn't be here. San Diego State might be the team to go on that little run though, to the Final Four. One of us has 95-1 ticket in their pocket.
That could be impacting your judgment, Ryan.
I don't want to hedge. We're not a big hedge shop.
No.
All right. I like this, Sean. You're on an island.
Yeah. You remember first four?
When do I remember? Like it was yesterday. Do you want to? You don't actually want me to. I actually have it up. But
yeah. What? I was 3-1. How'd you guys do?
Is that accurate?
Pretty sure.
Oh, it is. Okay. I was on a different tab. Correct. Sean was 1-0 in his island games. In the 2 other games he copied us, or the 3 other games where he copied us, he was 2-1. So it was a solid.
All right. So I beat both you guys. That's a different way to frame it.
He's been sitting on that nugget for a year.
Come on. I was dying for you to bring up the first 4 records from last year.
He knows Dayton basketball. UD Arena.
I'm Ohio neutral court specialist.
Wednesday, 3:40 p.m. on the West Coast. I assume you'll be watching this with us. Maybe you've already gotten your handshake from me at Stadium Swim. American Mount St. Mary's, another great 16-on-16 matchup. Colby probably feels like American was definitely a 15 seed, and they got disrespected here. American laying 2.5.
It's an awesome game. This is an awesome game. They're not located.
61 projected first half total.
Emmitsburg, Maryland to DC. What's that distance? Probably 25 minutes.
Not far.
Yeah.
It's all in that. What do you guys call it? The DMV?
Yes. Love this matchup. Obviously, we cashed on that future. Like a couple of pros.
We need a picture of Colby with like one of those balls in front of the crystal balls.
But Dwayne Simpkins,
Colby's futures.
Dwayne Simpkins,
yeah,
an AU. He's look. I've been a fan of this guy back when he played for Maryland. I think AU's the play. I think they're just Mount St. Mary's been a great run, but I think AU has a couple guys that I think could be challenges for Mount St. Mary's. I'll lay the 2.5 with the Eagles.
I'm with you.
They've
Go
won
Birds.
4 straight against them, by the way. They've won, but they've been dicey. They've been 3-point wins, 8-point wins, an overtime 6-point win, and then another 6-point win. However, 3 of those 4 wins were in Emmitsburg, Maryland. AU used to going on the road and getting it done against them. This one's in Dayton.
Yeah,
we're good.
I'm with you.
This is
and Mount St. Mary's will turn the ball over. One of the worst teams at turning it over offensively. Which is going to create some nice opportunities for the American defense. I'm with you, Colby. USA, let's go. We're going to be enjoying the second half. Cash at Stadium Swim, hopefully with some of you guys.
This is probably going to be the best of all of them. Like
really?
If I had to guess, like
as far as competitive game flow,
yeah, this game, just the fact they're located, they play often. So like I could just see this being a game. They probably do some scrimmages before the season starts. Yeah.
Where do you think the Patriot League ranks compared to the MAAC?
MAAC.
Yes.
I would assume. Let's think about this. I'm gonna assume that this year probably pretty even, right?
Let's see. Yeah, Patriot League is a little bit behind, 27th compared to 25th.
Yeah, seems pretty even.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with you. I watched I either watched or read a thing about the American coach that makes me want to. Makes me want to bet. And anytime I hear the name Morgan Wooten, I think about the NC State.
My father played for him.
Think about the NC State Survive and Advance documentary with Jimmy V. So yeah, all Discord finally gets one, and I feel like every year, just this is a personal PSA I'm going to say out loud on the podcast. I put way too much money on the 16 seed games because it's like, oh, the tournament's back.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, oh, these teams fucking suck. Both these teams fucking suck. All right, 6:10 again. We'll be at Stadium Swim. Come hang 6:10 on the West Coast. Texas, Xavier. I kind of, if you're gonna put North Carolina in, have it be Texas, North Carolina. Just get the Uber blue blood thing out of the way. Texas, now a basketball school, maybe? Are we
losing this, man?
Joining the SEC was certainly a master plan for the conversion to basketball. Texas catching 2.5 points, 69 projected first half total. I mean, I'm with you, Colby.
This is 54 minutes from campus.
Yeah, it's a bad draw for Texas from that regard. I would imagine that
this place is all Xavier fans. We should be asking us this:
who they root for?
Xavier might be rooting for San Diego State.
Yeah, you're right.
Is that the same day? Which day?
No.
It's the next day,
yeah,
right? So what's the lead up game?
It's American. They wouldn't care. They wouldn't care about American.
Damn it.
Well, also this fits one of our March Madness betting commandments. Xavier's 79.4% from the line.
What's Texas?
74.9. So they're not bad, but again, it's teams that are above 77%.
It's true.
That are favorites of less.
This is
than
some
4
bullshit.
points.
The more I think about this, so you put Xavier in, which shouldn't be in, and they basically have a fucking.
You give
home
them the
game.
best matchup too.
You give them a home game.
But to your point, Colby, like even if this wasn't, you avoid the home thing. You know, obviously it's right down the street, but Xavier playing really good basketball, and they did fit that model of they got knocked out 2-point loss in the Big East Conference tournament against Marquette. And now they've had a week plus, almost a full week to prepare for Texas. That's kind of like the perfect situation of a team I like. Other than that, Xavier's been going on a run. I wouldn't be surprised if Xavier wins multiple games.
Texas lost on Friday. It's not a huge difference, but playing one
Thursday to Friday.
Well, but they only played one conference tournament game
versus
compared to 3. I guess you could make that.
I'll say this though. Xavier, 4 out of their 5 starters are upperclassmen. Majority of them seniors. At home with your crowd behind you. Give me the Musketeers.
But just look at look at Texas's schedule, or look at Texas's win-loss since like February. They won what? 4 games. They've lost 9. Come on.
I can't believe they put him in the tournament, but then they also give him a fucking home game.
Who's their best player, Colby?
Fremantle. I don't know. McKnight was a baller at certain points. Yeah, I would say Fremantle though.
Texas?
Oh no, Xavier.
Yeah, who's Texas's best player?
Oh, the young kid Trey Johnson.
Making a point.
Yeah,
he's a freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a classic. This is March game. Yeah, we're going to be reminded. You know what? Well, I'll save it. I mean, I assume we're about to talk some locks.
Yep. Let's go.
Xavier's got to be a lock.
Yeah. Lock it up for Kramer. Xavier. Are we doing 2 locks? 1? What do we do?
I'm down to do a second one.
Okay. What's your second lock?
Just a circa Stadium Swim double banger party lock, or American -2.5. And then why not? We'll parlay them too.
Lock up Xavier, and then the other one is St. Francis +3.5. The Friars getting into the dance, the big dance.
You think so?
100%.
It's terrifying to children all over the place.
Yeah, well, they got to grow up sometime. Colby, 2 locks for the first 4 picks.
Sean wants this to be on national television.
Xavier and American.
Look at this thing.
Xavier
Imagine thinking this was a good idea. I mean, this is not a joke. And then this is the better version.
It's kind of a joke.
It's a religious school. What of demons do they have?
Hey, tomorrow we're going to be picking a ton of games against the spread. Every Thursday game, picking at ATS. That's going to be a lot of fun. Then Tuesday show, picking every Friday game, ATS. Wednesday, filling out our brackets. Of course, Survivor still get as many entries as we can. $25 entry, winner take all. Splashsports.com/SGPN. Get in our free bracket contest. $2,000 up for grabs. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. Of course, promo code madness up until the tip of the we'll call it the official tourney starting, not the playing games. We'll extend it. Promo code madness, 20% off everything. Of course, tune in to the college experience, get you set up and ready to go. And of course,
Sean, this is crazy. Colby's showing me this news that Bubba Cunningham will receive $104,000 bonus.
yes.
For making the tournament.
Well, that helps. That's why he was.
You're in charge of the tournament.
My God.
All right, but you're also in charge of North Carolina. Every time we get to the tournament, we give you $105,000.
It's a good business to be in.
You fucking believe this? It's not
Thank
fair.
you for participating in the
Sean,
Sports
it's not
Gambling
fair.
Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Hopefully we don't have the fryer any longer.
Kramer. Let it ride.